So I called him on the phone. He met me at his office after hours for the second time. Went in, he examined me, and he said, "Indeed, your retina has become detached again." Went through the same procedure. Needle in my eye, insert an air bubble, lay on my face. Let me tell you something. I spent some time feeling pretty sorry for myself. But you know one thing I learned? I learned what it means to be really lonely. My wife would get up in the morning and go to work. My daughter was off at college. My sons would get up and go to work. And there I was, laying on my face all day long, at home, by myself. Can't even turn my head to look at the television. Holding the air bubble in the back of my eye. Now, I'm a Christian man. I've been a minister for a long time, and you would think I would be above things like this, but I am not. I am just like you. And one of the things I found myself thinking was, what did I do to deserve this? I started doing mental inventory. God, what did I do? Why are you doing this to me? What did you do to me? Or why did you do this to me? What is going on? Well, I come to find out this all had a natural explanation. Previous to this, I had had cataract surgery. They use sound waves to cut your eye and put the new lens in, remove the cataracts. Well, what happens is, if you are nearsighted, those sound waves disrupt your retina. So my retina became detached as a result of the cataract surgery I had. That's why you have to sign all those papers, you know. And that was on there. This might happen. Well, then I found out one of the reasons I had cataracts at such a young age, I'm still in my 40s then, was that I had a messed up parathyroid gland that was producing way too much calcium in my system, and that's what cataracts are, calcium. It all had a very natural explanation. As a result, I had to have surgery here, and all the stuff I told you. I believe God had a purpose in it all, though. When somebody says to me now that they're lonely, I don't think to myself, well, get out and visit somebody. Have a party. You know, join a club. I think to myself, I know exactly how you feel. I know how to pray for that person. I learned something I never would have known otherwise. Are you happy that you can see? Yes? All right. You're happy you can see? Of course. Imagine facing this. Twice, retina becomes detached. I asked the doctor, is there a chance the same thing will happen over here? Oh yeah, it might happen to that eye too. I asked him, you know, as he was sticking the needle in my eye, and you know what you're doing, right? You can fix this. I don't make, you know, he couldn't make any promises, but I've done this many times. It should work. You should have complete. Not only is my sight repaired, but I have better vision now out of the eye that had 2 retina detachments than I had before it happened. My sight improved. Imagine if all of a sudden you couldn't see. I started to think about that. What if I lose my sight? What if it happens on the other side? What if he can't heal this? What if it happens again? And I'm going to tell you, one of the things I was thinking, I'm just too lazy to learn Braille. What am I going to do? if I can't see? Now, there's something to be said, I guess, for being born blind and never really knowing what you're missing. I don't know. As opposed to being able to see and then losing it. But I do know this. No matter what happens to me, around me, or for me, the reason and the purpose is much more than about me. It's so that the work of God can be displayed in my life. What if you began to think that way? What if you began to think, God made me the way I am for a reason? I have the abilities or disabilities that I have for a purpose. Whatever is wrong or right with me, the bottom line is so that God's work can be displayed in my life and He can receive the glory. What if that started to be your way of thinking about everything going on in your life? What changes would it make? How would you act differently? How would you treat others differently? How would you think differently if all of a sudden you made a shift that it's not all about you? That if you're a Christian, it is all about God's reason for you being the way you are and your purpose for being here. Now listen to what the man healed of blindness from birth said. All I know is this: I once was blind, but now I see. Have you ever tried to share things about the Lord with somebody else and they say this? Yeah, but what about the starving children in Africa? What about that? What about people that are born with disabilities? What about all the injustice in the world? What about little babies having AIDS? Do you know it is perfectly okay to say to them, I don't have an answer for that. All I know is I once was blind, but now I see. What about people in Buffalo that are homeless? I don't know. I don't know. I do what I can to help. But what I want to tell you is I have been changed. Jesus did something for me. The devil will take every opportunity to steer the conversation in another direction. And I'm going to tell you what. I've never met anybody, no matter how educated, no matter how spiritual, no matter how close they walk to God, who can explain Him and everything He does. He is unexplainable. I do know this. I used to be self-centered, self-righteous, conceited, blind to the needs of everybody else. But now I see that He has a reason for me being here, a reason for the way I am, a purpose for my life, and that is to display His work and give glory to Him. Let's pray. Lord, everyone who knows You as Savior has a story to tell of what You've done for us, how You have changed us, the difference You have made in our lives. And we don't have to be theologians or Bible scholars and able to answer every question. Your word tells us, be ready to give an answer for the hope that is within us. That I can answer. I can tell people about that. That is my story. Help me, help all of us, never to be afraid or ashamed or hesitant to share that with others.